All right, so get ready because today we're going deep on this idea that everything is energy.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be looking at a clip from Bruce Lipton's YouTube channel,
Okay.
and he really gets into it.
Yeah.
Quantum physics, energy fields, and even hints at things like reincarnation.
Interesting.
So get ready to stretch your mind a little bit as we unpack this and see what surprising insights we can pull out.
I love Bruce Lipton.
Yeah.
He really isn't shy about tackling the big questions. And I find what's interesting is that he uses cutting-edge science,
Right.
specifically quantum physics,
Yeah.
to kind of explore these ancient concepts that have fascinated humans for centuries.
Yeah, he dives right in,
Yeah.
claiming that quantum physics reveals that everything is fundamentally energy, not solid matter.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty bold statement.
It is.
I'm wondering how he supports that.
Well, he points to the fact that physicists have discovered that atoms,
Okay.
those tiny building blocks we usually think of as solid,
Yeah.
aren't really solid at all.
What?
When you break them down to their core, you find these incredible energy vortices,
Really?
almost like tiny tornadoes of energy.
So kind of like how a fan looks solid when it's spinning, but it's really just the movement of the blades creating that illusion.
Precisely. And if we apply that same concept to ourselves, Lipton suggests that we too are fundamentally energy fields.
Oh.
He uses this really vivid analogy,
Yeah. Okay.
comparing cells to TV sets receiving broadcasts.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on that comparison?
I admit that one kind of blew my mind.
Yeah.
It's like he's saying our bodies are constantly receiving and interpreting information from this field of energy around us.
Exactly. He's suggesting that our cells have these things called receptors. You can think of them as like tiny antennas
Okay.
on the surface of our cells. And each receptor is designed to pick up specific signals from the environment.
Oh, interesting.
And what's really fascinating is that each of us has a unique set of receptors,
Huh.
like a fingerprint.
So we're each tuned into a slightly different channel, so to speak, experiencing a unique version of reality based on our specific set of receptors.
That's the implication.
Wow.
And it really makes you think about how we perceive the world and how differently each of us might be interpreting the same events.
Okay, now I'm really starting to see how this video has people buzzing.
Yeah.
But Lipton doesn't stop there.
No.
He goes on to discuss life, death,
Uh-huh.
and even touches on the concept of reincarnation.
Reincarnation.
Yeah.
It's here where he extends that TV analogy.
Right.
He asks a thought-provoking question.
Okay.
If the TV breaks, does the broadcast end?
Well, no, the signal's still out there, even if that particular TV can't receive it anymore.
Right.
So is he suggesting that our consciousness, our energy could persist even after our physical bodies die?
That's the idea he's exploring.
Wow.
He suggests that while our physical body, the TV, in his analogy, may stop functioning, the energy that animates us, the broadcast might continue. And perhaps he suggests a new TV with a similar set of receptors. Maybe a new embryo with a similar genetic makeup could theoretically pick up that same broadcast again.
Whoa, that's a lot to unpack.
It is.
I'm curious what you, the listener, think about this concept. Does this idea of reincarnation of energy persisting beyond the physical body resonate with you at all?
Yeah, it's a pretty wild concept.
Yeah.
And he doesn't stop there.
Okay.
He also brings up this idea that our thoughts aren't just confined to our heads.
Okay, that's intriguing.
Yeah.
I've heard about studies showing how thoughts can influence things outside the body.
Right.
But how does he tie that into this idea of everything being energy?
Well, he mentions a technique
Okay.
called magnetoencephalography,
Magnetoen.
or MEG.
Meg. Okay.
It's a way to measure brain activity without actually making physical contact with the brain.
Oh, wow.
So the fact that we can detect these signals outside the skull
Right.
suggests that thoughts create an energy field that extends beyond our physical bodies.
So we're not just receivers of energy like those TV sets in his analogy.
Right.
But we're also transmitters.
Yes.
Constantly emitting energy based on our thoughts and feelings.
That's the idea, and really challenges the traditional view that our minds are solely contained within our brains.
It does.
He even goes so far as to say that the field is the sole governing agency of matter, meaning that energy is the fundamental force shaping our reality.
Hold on. I want to make sure I'm understanding this correctly.
Sure.
Is he saying that this field of energy is actually more foundational than the physical matter we see around us?
Yeah.
That it's the blueprint, so to speak?
That's how I interpret it.
Wow.
It's a pretty radical concept.
Yeah.
The idea that what we perceive as solid material reality
Mhm.
is actually a manifestation of this underlying energy field.
Right.
But if that's true, what are the practical implications?
Right.
How does that change how we live our lives?
That's the question that's really grabbing my attention now. If our thoughts and emotions have a real measurable impact on this field,
Mm-hmm.
does that mean we have more control over our lives,
Potentially.
our health, even our destinies,
Yeah.
than we might have thought?
Lipton seems to think so.
Oh, okay.
You know? It's a bit speculative,
Yeah.
but it does make you wonder if we're constantly emitting energy that shapes our reality,
Right.
then maybe things like the placebo effect, where our beliefs can influence healing,
Right.
or the power of positive thinking,
Yeah.
aren't just wishful thinking.
It definitely challenges the idea that we're just passive recipients of whatever life throws at us.
It does.
Maybe we're active participants co-creating our reality with every thought, every feeling.
Exactly. And if we take that a step further
Mm-hmm.
and consider that we're all interconnected through this field,
Okay.
it adds a whole new dimension to our relationships and how we interact with each other.
So maybe acts of kindness,
Yeah.
compassion, even just positive vibes aren't just nice things to do, but they're actually having a tangible impact on this shared field of energy.
It's a compelling idea,
Yeah.
and it aligns with a lot of ancient wisdom traditions that emphasize the interconnectedness of all things. What's interesting is that science now seems to be catching up with those ideas.
I can see why Lipton's work resonates with so many people. He's weaving together science and spirituality
Yeah.
in a way that offers a new, expanded view of ourselves and our place in the universe.
Right.
It's a lot to take in.
It is.
What are some of the key things to keep in mind if we want to explore these ideas further?
Well, I think it's important to remember that this is still a very young field of study.
Yeah.
You know, we're just scratching the surface of understanding the nature of this energy field
Right.
and its impact on our lives.
Yeah,
There's a lot we don't know
for sure.
and a lot of room for exploration.
Right, so we need to approach these ideas with an open mind,
Absolutely.
but also a healthy dose of skepticism. We don't want to blindly accept everything we hear,
Right.
but we also don't want to dismiss anything out of hand just because it challenges our current understanding.
Exactly.
Yeah, it feels like we're really at a point where science is starting to validate some of these ancient wisdom traditions
It really does.
that have been talking about energy and consciousness for centuries.
the millennia.
Right, and it makes you wonder if Lipton's really onto something here.
Uh-huh.
What could this mean for our understanding of things like health and healing?
Yeah.
If we're more than just our physical bodies,
Mm-hmm.
could we learn to consciously work with our energy fields
Right.
to actually impact our well-being?
That's a great question.
It would definitely turn our current medical model on its head a bit.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, we're already seeing a growing interest in things like mindfulness, energy healing,
Yeah.
the mind-body connection.
Right.
What if those practices are actually tapping into this deeper level of energetic influence?
It's certainly possible there's a growing body of research exploring how our thoughts and emotions can influence our physical health.
Like the placebo effect.
The placebo effect is a great example.
Mm-hmm.
It shows that our beliefs and expectations can have a real impact on how our bodies respond to treatment.
I find that so fascinating.
Yeah.
It really suggests that our minds have a much greater influence over our biology than we often give them credit for.
Absolutely. And it opens up a whole new realm of possibilities for how we approach healing.
Right.
Imagine if we could harness the power of our thoughts and emotions
Yeah.
to not just manage symptoms,
Mm.
but to actually shift our energy fields in a way that promotes genuine well-being.
We've covered so much ground in this deep dive.
I know we have.
It's incredible how Lipton managed to weave together quantum physics,
Right.
the nature of consciousness, even reincarnation,
Yeah.
all in one short video.
All in like, what, 15 minutes?
I know, it's amazing.
He gave us a lot to chew on.
He did.
It's a testament to his ability to connect seemingly disparate ideas and present them in a way that sparks curiosity and further exploration.
As we wrap up, I'm left with a sense of wonder and a lot of new questions.
Yeah.
What stands out to you, listener, as the most intriguing takeaway from this exploration of everything is energy?
For me, it's the idea that we're not just passive observers in this reality.
Yeah.
We're active participants constantly shaping our experience with our thoughts, our emotions, and our energy.
Right.
And it's both empowering and a bit daunting.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it suggests that we have far more potential than we might realize.
I love that perspective. So as we leave this deep dive, we invite you to consider this.
Okay.
What if you started viewing yourself not just as a physical being,
Hmm.
but as a powerful field of energy?
Interesting.
How might that change how you move through the world, how you interact with others, and how you care for yourself?
It's a question worth pondering. And remember, the journey of discovery doesn't end here. We encourage you to keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep opening your mind to the vast possibilities that exist within and around you.
Beautifully said. Thanks for joining us on this incredible exploration.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody.
We hope you enjoyed the ride, and we'll catch you on our next deep dive.